I'm Holly Park Association Live, and with me today is the incredible Darren Brown, the CEO of Vfast Internet, part of the Orbital Internet Group. Now, Vfast Internet has been in the market for a long time, operating and installing fast, high-speed broadband into the residential market. Now, almost 10 years ago, Darren Brown, the CEO, moved into park industry as a new opportunity to grow. Since then, he's gone from strength to strength. What we're going to do on this broadcast is play the introduction video first of all, and then we're going to get straight into our 15 minutes with Darren Brown at Vfast Internet and how he can help your park become super fast on broadband. Stand. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And we are now joined with the incredible Darren Brown. So, Darren, let's get straight into this. First of all, the other day, you joined our webinar, the first ever Holly Park Association webinar, which was an incredible night. And during that webinar, you were talking about internet service provider services for UK parks. Now, you've been in the industry 10 years. What is the most important part of what you're doing right now in terms of upgrading the infrastructure? I mean, to set the scene, I'm on holiday, I'm in my caravan, I've got the old the old poles outside with the Wi-Fi senders, and I've got no broadband. I'm getting frustrated. You come across that a lot. How does Vfast help improve that solution so that holiday makers and residents of holiday and leisure parks, as well as residential, can get high-speed broadband with Vfast?
That's a really good question, Bradley. So we realised quite some time ago that the days of, Wi-Fi access points spread around parks was no longer meeting the needs and requirements of what people, what they want and what they require now. Years ago that used to work when bandwidth requirements were very low and people wasn't streaming, people wasn't using YouTube, people wasn't working from their holiday home or their residence on a park, so wasn't needing to use Teams and Skype and the such like. In them days you could sort of get away with it. The issue you have with that type of Wi-Fi setup is the signals from the transmitters that are spread around the park need to penetrate the park home and get to the device inside and such like. The device needs to be able to transmit back. Because of the frequencies which are used for Wi-Fi, that is really problematic, especially with, park homes. The construction's getting better and better all the time. They're more insulated, they've got winter packs on them, and with insulation, all these things hinder the signal penetrating the park home or holiday home. Our solution, which we found was the only solution potentially, is to run a dedicated connection to each park plot. So, in some cases that's a fibre optic cable to each plot. In some cases that's a high-speed WiMAX wireless type connection, which uses different frequencies to your standard Wi-Fi, outdoor frequencies, and then we take the connection inside the caravan itself, from the base, and they have what is sort of essentially exactly the same as a typical residential connection. So they would have their own router. It's dedicated to them. It's their own connection with their own bandwidth on it that they use internally. So obviously the signal's great and the coverage is great and the speed is great as such.
No, fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Darren Brown. If you're just joining us, he is the Chief Executive Officer of Vfast Internet. Now, if you're a park operator right now and you're watching this broadcast, we're really honoured and pleased, first of all, to have Vfast Internet as a member of the association. Now, Darren is his company is very busy right now, and he is up and down the country from north to the south of the United Kingdom, installing upgraded high-speed broadband and internet systems for park operators. Now, the system that Darren's installing currently are not only just about going onto parks, it's not just about providing a fully managed hands-off service. So you don't have to worry about your internet service provider and the dealings with that. Vfast take care of everything. But Darren's company, as I understand it now, is in negotiations and has been for some time, an installation of your product at source. So park-owned manufacturers are now installing kit at source at the point of manufacturing. So between the upgrading of parks to improve the broadband speed, you're also talking to park manufacturers about the installation of the kit ready to go at the point of manufacture. Of course, the benefits are, for me, significant and evident, but exactly what does that mean for the park industry, having a pre-made, pre-built home that's fully compliant and ready to go with switches and everything?
Okay, so this come about because of one of our big contracts that we have with Park Holidays UK. Now, Park Holidays UK purchase a lot of units from some major suppliers based up in Hull each season, and they commit to that. So we went and had multiple meetings with ABI, with Willoughby, and a few other manufacturers up there. Now, what we've done is we sat down with their design team and worked out a way of making the installation easier when we connect on site, with minimal work required on the actual caravan itself. So essentially on the older units, our engineers were needing to, perhaps drill a hole in the floor to be able to bring the fibre optic in or bring the Ethernet in. What the manufacturers are now doing on request for particular orders is they are pre-wiring, so they are wiring Ethernet from the outside of the unit that our engineers can just plug into from the base, be it a fibre termination or an Ethernet termination. That then goes into a predetermined site within the van. Typically that's a hidden location where there's a dedicated power source for our equipment, and also Ethernet that runs off to, say, behind the telly. So if it's not a holiday home and it's actually a owner's unit, then they may want a router, for example, behind the telly or somewhere nearby so they can plug their smart TV in and stream. So it makes the whole process quicker and easier and very cost effective to do. So
It's a very interesting subject, and I absolutely love it. I mean, the association's job, when we formed the association, we wanted to make sure that our association was purely based around UK park operators. Now, we don't get involved with the sort of arbitration of residents. Our sole aim as an association is to help, support, grow, encourage, recognise and reward park operators, help them move forward, and to bring incredible suppliers together. So bridging that gap between bringing new, innovative, updated suppliers into the market to merge and marry together with our park operators. Now, I know that you're launching a brand new website, which is coming out very shortly, and we've been speaking for some time. Tell us about the new website, because it's specifically aimed at the UK parks industry.
it is, yes, that's correct, Bradley. So what we've done, because obviously Vfast is a residential internet service provider providing thousands of customers all over the place, not just on parks. We've realised, because of the appetite that's out there for park operators to have a superb system for their owner base and their holiday makers, depending on the type of park, we've dedicated a portion of the company and we've employed more staff that are dedicated and trained to run that part of the company. Now, That is going under the branding of Vfast Parks, and the new website that's being launched this week is vfastparks.com, and that is solely aimed at park operators. It is not aimed at end users whatsoever. And it was to take away the confusion of our main website with the raft of products that we offer on there. So, you know, there's a few packages going to be on there, from part managed to fully managed, explanations of how park operators can monetize effectively their broadband supply and earn revenue from it additionally. And obviously there's custom packages as well. We're a really flexible company. So if a park operator wants, you know, installation and a custom package, so to speak, or they're a multi-site park operator and they need their sites also linked together for their corporate needs, which we do for other park operators, we can also supply their corporate network and save them money on what they're currently paying, to link all the sites together for their own business purposes as well.
And you know what I love about dealing with you and working with you? You're very calm. You come across really calm and really collective. Now, effectively, you would what I call a tech specialist, right? And for us non-tech specialists that don't really understand internet and how it's delivered, let me just ask you a little bit about infrastructure changes. Because let's say, and I'm just scenarioing for park operators, that you come to a park, they've got an existing infrastructure system that's being brought in, whatever that's been brought in by, in terms of the line coming in. That line coming in is an old line. It isn't up to speed. And they may be thinking, well, just, you know, you just increase the line speed, but it's not the case. You're going to increase a completely new lease line at a certain speed. Can you explain in layman terms what that means to the park? Because you might have coming in, you might have a copper system coming in that's just really terrible speed. You might have an ISDN, you might have an advanced system. Explain in layman's terms what you're going to bring into the park and what does that reflect in terms of speed, so they can understand it from some of the more antiquated parks with really poor internet service. Now, if you're going to be going on holiday at the moment and you're in that caravan and you're stuttering and you can't watch the film with your kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're a park operator that's getting feedback from your holidaymaker saying the broadband stuttering, the broadband isn't up to speed, they're never going to forget that when they go away. Because part of having a holiday, the part of having a leisure park is in the evening, if you're not out boogalooing, enjoying yourself in the centre, is having one night here or there or during the day when the kids are on their pads, they're watching a bit of TV, they're watching Space Jam or Star Wars, or mum and dad are watching a romantic movie on their date night of the holiday. What does it mean to bring in this high speed line and what's involved, Darren?
Okay, so in real simple terms, Bradley, we put in a high-speed fibre optic connection into any park that we serve. That connects directly back to our core backbone at regional data centres around the UK. So primarily, a lot of them go straight back to Telehouse in London Docklands.
Blimey, I've not heard Telehouse in London Docklands for a while. Crikey, took me back there, sir.
Yeah, we've been in there a very long time, Bradley.
Crikey.
And the minimum size circuit we put in is a gigabit, so that would be 1,000 megabit. That is the absolute bare minimum we put in, because the service we supply needs to be top notch, because our reputation's at stake. We've got a great reputation within our, you know, the current parks that we do. So if for any reason that isn't possible, then it wouldn't be a site that we could supply, although ordinarily we find a way around it in order to supply that site. So we do it properly. We put plenty of bandwidth in. We don't want unhappy customers, and we certainly don't want unhappy park operators.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our approved and collaborative partners at Park and Holiday Park Association. This is Darren Brown, CEO of Vfast Internet, part of the Orbital Internet Group, and he is now, as he has been for many years, improving the speed of internet, the service provision, the quality, and the overall service, not just to the park operators, but for your residents and your holidaymakers. Please do contact Darren at vfast.co.uk, a highly trusted and respected individual that understands ISP and internet service provider needs and how he can help you improve your park. Darren, just for now, can you please pass other details, how we can get in touch with you for somebody to want to make an inquiry? Just make a reference, phhp PHPA, Park Home and Holiday Park Association, and then reach out to Darren. How can our park operators and other interested parties for residential homes, residential estates, etc., builders, give you a contact directly to your team?
Okay, so the easiest way to contact us within the next few days, or in a few days' time when the new website goes live, there's a dedicated team waiting basically for park operator contact, and that will be via the website at www.vfastparks.com.
Okay, vfastparks.com. I'm just going to get that up on the screen so everybody can see that. Now, if you didn't see Darren the other night, Darren did appear on the first ever Park Home Holiday Park Association webinar. There's the new website that's going to be live just in a few days at vfastparks.com. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor and pleasure to talk in more depth with Darren. He's an incredible operator, an incredible supplier, and a fantastic award-winning company that really can help to improve the happiness, the contentment, but above all, the speed of the internet on your park, no matter where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Darren Brown, CEO of Vfast. Darren, thanks so much for your time and for coming on board, sir. We do appreciate it. Just say goodbye to everybody.
Thank you, Bradley, and goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to appear on one of our live videos, this is 15 minutes with Park Home and Holiday Park Association. I'm Bradley Chapman, and we'd love to have you as a supplier or a park operator. Remember, to find out more about our association and how we can help you to gain more leverage, more insight, connectivity, and together help the UK parks industry go for operators and for suppliers, please do visit phhpa.org/join. Good night. God bless.